Hello. I'm going to do a quick review, or it's not even a review or a recap. These are just my thoughts. So I've not ever completed a review of Insecure, and I don't want to recap because it's not fair to just jump in like at the end of like 5 seasons or 4 seasons and have a commentary about the previous episodes. But this is what I want to know. Do you think that Molly's background, or what you know about her backstory, is enough to suffice for how Molly actually interacts and migrates or meanders through the show? And let me explain. I love Insecure. They can do no wrong by me. As long as it's on TV, I am there. But I just started thinking about it because the snippet came up for them for next week. And to be honest, I'm not pro Molly, and if this would have been my actual friendship, it would be no more friendship, because I feel like Molly is wrong, and let me explain why. For one, Molly is wrong. Okay, so initially she had a leg to stand on with me. She said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to ask Andrew to ask anybody to step up for your headliner. I just want to create a boundary between me and him. And no, between us and you, Issa. She didn't say, Issa, do not ask Andrew to do this. She didn't say anything. She said, I'm not going to do it. And so we don't know the conversation that took place and how Nathan went about asking Andrew. But this is where I know she's not thinking rationally, because the vendor ended up coming to Andrew afterwards and said, hey man, good looking out. This is a good look for Vince. This was awesome. So not only did it give 2 birds with 1 stone with being great for the community and great for the actual vendor, it made Andrew going to look good at his job to get that good feedback from the actual the person. Then on top of that, it would be different if this event was a personal party. If Issa was looking for a personal representative to come to her party, it was almost considered work related. So with business, that's completely different. You should have a different mindset. Hey, I'm not in it because I'm your personal friend. Cool. If Nathan then approached him with business, I don't understand. So moving forward, let's just say Issa becomes successful at this and Andrew is the plug. You telling me moving forward, she's not supposed to be able to hit up individuals on a business level? That doesn't make any logical sense. It has nothing to do with you. And it goes back to the whole Condola thing. Her and Condola was still, although it was rocky, was still able to put things aside to get the block party going to move forward. At this point, are you not supposed to utilize those vendors because they know Condola? It makes no sense. It'd be different if it was a personal event for a one-time personal party. This is actual business. But then I also get Molly's stance, like I told you, no. So she would have had a leg to stand on to be like, Issa, you know you was wrong. However, I think Molly was extremely out of place and out of order for even popping off on Issa the way that she did in a public situation. Now you let all these people know we fighting. Then you're going to try to step to me in a physical manner in which it caused everybody to run thinking she had a gun. Oh no. And then on top of that is her backstory representation of how she even treats people. And let me give you a reason why. Molly be thinking that she can talk to people like how she talked to Issa, but it always backfires. Look at how she was talking to the people at her job. Like she rolled up on them thinking she could talk to them like that, and they told her what she can do. They isolated her and iced her out. So my point being is that she even had to grovel and go back and repair those relationships, but why does she have to do that with Issa? Then next, in my personal opinion, how she talks to Issa and then how she has these so-called men problems, I don't understand it, considering her backstory doesn't support her having these type of travails. Like, for instance, like her men problem, like her daddy was always ever present, even though she found out he cheated, like since she's been grown. Her frame of reference, and she know her dad, was to know somebody who's loyal and faithful to their wife. So to now suddenly be in these men situations, it seemed like she wouldn't even want a man to touch her unless they were representation of what she got experienced as growing up as a child. To me, her backstory so far doesn't support the issues that she seems to be having with life, with relationships, and how she treats her friend. And I noticed that she doesn't treat Kelly and Tiffany this way because it goes back to, I wonder now, this show has me thinking about privilege and socioeconomic prestige. Meaning, like, because you don't have the success and the money that I have, you no longer value me as a human being with blood or earth. Blood and matter in my body. That you can talk to me any kind of way because I don't have the same social and economic background that you all have. And that's not fair, because at the same point, the main person that you need the most is the person without necessarily the title or the accolades. And the person who seems to have supported you the most and been there is not someone necessarily the most prestigious. But at the same time, your faults we all have faults, and her faults to me seem to even outweigh Issa, because Issa seems to get on with life. And those some of the things in Issa I admire. Like, I admire Issa's resilience to pop back. Like, even when she fell inside the restaurant, she's laid there for a minute. I'm gonna get up and still keep moving forward. Whereas with me, I'd have been so like, oh my God. I could even see me be like, I'm going home. Like, it's done. So sometimes for her to be resilient enough to continue to swing at life, considering like her life circumstances, is always one of the things that I admire about Issa. Also, moving away from Miley, what did you all think about Lawrence? I'm not Team Lawrence. I'm not the Lawrence Hive. Only because I feel like Lawrence always seems to get the accolades for not doing very much as an adult. If he gets a job, the world stops. If he goes to the gym, the world stops. However, Issa can do some of the most magical things and not get any accolades. To me, after she completed the block party, they should have been hosting her a congratulatory dinner or some type of lunch. Something to say, oh my God, this is huge and you did it. She didn't get that. She didn't really get too much nothing from them. And I think Lawrence gets it all. And I feel like Lawrence had inadequacies as well. And I like that they was able to sit down and have this conversation. But to me, it was nothing gained for real. And I'm curious to know, and I've looked at some of the reviews, and I've not really, everything that was stated was things that we knew. And I think that deep down, I think Lawrence knew. And I think it was much easier for him to play the victim instead of taking responsibility that I was not there 100% for her as a man. And I couldn't be. And I think that even if they weren't together, there was a way he could have let her off the hook a little bit better. And this was never about Daniel, and I think he knew that too. This was never about Daniel. It was just about the lacking of the attentiveness that was needed. When he forgot her birthday, to me, it was a wrap. Because I'm big on those things. If you can't wish me well on my born day, then what are we doing? And I understand that people forget, but he just really, to me, forgot and really didn't even care. So then we move on to my thoughts on the overall. What did you think about Issa's parents? And that's another thing, is that looking at Molly's backdrop, I don't think her home situation would support some of her actions. At the same time, I don't know how I feel. I'm not taking away from, and I call her Tasha Mack. Tasha Mack being Tasha Mack, or Wendy being I think her name is Wendy Rochelle, playing Issa's mother. I just don't think her character would have been okay with some of the hardships that Issa has been through. I could see her motherly type being like, hell no, you're not gonna be sleeping up on this nigga's couch. Whereas I think it would have been interesting to see her, the only way I can see pushing this through is if Jackie Harris from 227 ends up being Issa's grandmother. Then I can see it. But for the most part, I wish everything was on the up and up with the old Aunt Viv, because I think in my mind, the old Aunt Viv has always been the darker complected Aunt Viv has always been her mother in my mind, because the age, because I see them too. Her and her brother having older parents, which is why they were have that on again, off again closeness relationship, and why they're able to kind of do what they want. Because to me, they kind of wild. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Do you think the parents that were selected were great? I really do like Tasha Mack, but I think for Issa's parent, I don't know. I was seeing something else. For some reason, I was seeing an Afrocentric, very almost like somebody who actually concocts concoctions and brews. In my mind, it would be like Dr. Sebi, little daddy. I don't know why I was thinking that. And I guess what are some other things that I noticed? Great job on cinematography, writing. I think Kelly wrote this particular episode, and it was awesome to see the art, because that's what I do. If I'm a wanderer, so if I'm if I'm traveling to other countries, I don't tend to buy souvenirs and things as much as I I will wander the streets and look for art and events and things to actually dig my feet in. So anytime I'm out, I always film my feet, and then I'll lift the camera up so you can see what it is that I see, and it's usually art. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's so me, going under those clouds with the lights. Oh, I just would have been so happy. I don't even buy souvenirs as much as I buy or participate in the art. All right, so that's all that I have. I had more to say, but it didn't tape. Anyway, it's been real. Continue to be ready, set, and always go.